What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to see you here. It is nice to be back home. I will say that. I figured I'd hop on and chat with you guys pre-stream because I'm really excited for whatever the town square holds. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream like through the town square or after, but we'll see how things go. But I just wanted to check in. I think I missed, even with all of the live streams this past weekend. We streamed a lot. I missed you guys. I missed being able to just come in and hang out with the chat, which is what I normally do. Obviously, there I had the pleasure and opportunity of being live and in person with several folks who I consider close friends. So I was distracted and we weren't able to get into the chat as much and answer a bunch of questions, but hopefully it was something fun for you guys. Made you feel like you were there virtually. But yeah, ultimately I'm super pumped. I'm feeling really energized after that meetup. It was a good kind of, it transcended Splinterlands in many ways, just because the conversation was just all over the place. And I realized, this community is just awesome in terms of, or has so many awesome people that share a lot of my interests, a lot of my perspectives. Conversation has always just been fantastic. And it was great. It was actually really awesome to be able to do that in person. So before we get whatever the news is tonight, which is, again, the hint that we've been given is that there is a go live date for Land 1.5 that is going to be dropped today. I figured we'd take a look at the overall ecosystem and just kind of see where things are at. DEC has obviously fallen a little bit, but I should say fallen from where it was during the hype of the Rebellion sale. We actually did go below the 900 Splintoshi range, but maybe somebody knows if there's something else going on, because we are back up to almost 93 or 930. SPS, which did drop down as well, I think is riding a little bit of the crypto wave. You can see here that a lot of alts are up, like Cardano is up 1.7, Solana, Matic, BNB. So, we ticked back up above over 1.4 cents, which is great. Vouchers. Well, you know what? Vouchers, we just keep printing them every day. Here's the interesting thing, actually. You know what? So 40,000 vouchers printed per day. Let me figure this out. 40,000 vouchers per day divided by 5, right? So we would need, oh man, that's kind of crazy. In order for Splinterlands, or in order for vouchers to be eaten up at the rate that they are printed, we would need to be selling 8,000 packs a day, or moving 8,000 packs a day, because we can get away with some of the bonus ones. But that's significant. You multiply that by 365 days and we're sitting at about 2.9 million total packs that would need to be purchased over the course of a year, which is kind of the target range that I'm going for. If we can hit 3 million packs over the course of the year, that would be fantastic. That would eat up, that would eat up obviously a ton of vouchers, but it would also eat up a ton of DEC. Granted, there's going to be some bonuses in there, but we'd probably be close to like 10, 12 billion DEC with 3 million packs sold, right? 3 million packs. Oh, actually, no, it is 12 billion DEC. So 3 million packs at 4,000 DEC is 12 billion. But I guess some of those could include non-DEC bonus packs. So have to factor that one in there. Hive is also up as well, which is always good. And you can see here, Rebellion, we're selling quite well, actually, I would say. 210,000. This has moved even just a couple of thousand today. And one thing that I think would be worthwhile to check out, let's actually go to the shop here and see where the licenses are going to be. Sorry, not the I saw licenses and I said licenses. See where the leaderboard is going to be on this thing, because I know several folks are trying to chase that Rebel title, and I think there's going to be some fireworks at the end. I don't know if we're going to sell out of everything, but I do believe that there is a chance that we see a massive run towards the end. And maybe we don't get through all of it. Maybe people come in and they're like, that's all that I can buy. I just want to make sure that I'm at whatever level I need to be at in order to get the Rebel title, which is the top 250. But right now, like, it's 119 packs. Like, that's not much. 119 packs to get into the top 250. Like, I have to imagine all the people here are at least thinking about it, right? Like, maybe I'll buy another 10, 20 packs and see if I can sneak in towards the end. Well, my question is, what is the number in which people start to panic and pad their buy, right? So it's like, all right, I have X amount. Maybe I'm in the top 240-ish range. How do I make sure, right? How do I make sure that nobody's just going to come and snipe it from me at the end? Because there are a finite amount of packs available for the pre-sale. So if we start to get towards the end, you may be willing to buy more packs. They just won't be available, right? So this is unlike the DEC burning event where you could burn essentially as much as you wanted. But yeah, I guess it's gonna keep us. It's gonna keep us on our toes, I would say. But here's the thing, right? The 250, right, top 250 Rebel title, that's going to be peanuts in my opinion, right? It's going to be tiny compared to the top 100 and then the top, what is it? I think 30, right? And then, so there's 4 levels to this when you think about it. Hold on, let's go all the way to the top, right? You got the top 6, which is not about a title, but the ability to create or help design one of the summoners. And this thing's at 5K right now. You see Bulldog here is the number 6 spot at 5,000 packs. I don't know if Bubkey or Brybro or someone else is going to try to make a run, but it's, if you're up there and you have the opportunity, that's like several hundred packs, right? Just vying for the top 6 spots. Several hundred packs between, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 folks, right? All in this area. Then your next level is going to be where the legendary title ends, right? So instead of the Dawnbringer, it goes down to an epic title, the Defiant, and that's at 2,500 right now. And so there's not much difference here, but I would say that there's several folks within striking range, even the people who are down here at the 2,300 range. I mean, maybe they'd buy another 250 packs, right? And there's a lot of them. Look at how many people are at the 2,300 range. Oh, you know what? You know why? It's because they bought 2,000 packs and therefore they got the 15% bonus. But that's a significant amount of people, right? Was it 17 people? Yeah. 17 people who are all within like 18 people who are all within 200 packs-ish of getting into the top 30 in order to get that legendary title. And we know how powerful titles are going to be on land. And of course, there's a little land hype happening tonight in case you hadn't heard. So that should be interesting. Level 3 is going to be where we go down to the Rebel title, right? So the top 101 onwards. And you can see here, I mean, there's not much. I mean, it's 7 packs that separate this out. So, and then you got 1, 2, let's go all the way down to, I'd say if you're at like 550 packs, look at this. And you're within 50 packs of getting an epic title, the Defiant, rather than the Rebel title. I don't know, man. It could be interesting. There's 37 people there within 50 packs. That's a significant amount too. But I really think everybody's just waiting, right? This is going to be a game of chicken until and unless some other folks really start to come in. But let me jump into the chat actually. So, Icy Flow, what's going on? Wibble Wee, what's happening? Unlocking the Soulbounds is going to burn a voucher or 2. I hope so. I don't know when that's going to be available though. But yeah, I'm really hoping that'll be the case. Icy Flow says, I see Matt hasn't bought. Neither is Aggie. I don't see Aggie's name anywhere on there. I'm wondering if he will buy in the pre-sale or buy in the general so others get the summoner designs. Yeah, that's a good point. it's not just the summoner designs too. He would be taking away potential packs from, oh, sorry, not potential packs, but potential promo cards from people if he were to do that. My guess is, if you know, Matt's usually been very generous with his approach to this. He's probably going to wait until the last day or the last week. If things are not moving, he'll probably be like, all right, let me just go and get my packs now. People had their chance, right? We'll see what happens. But the fact that he hasn't bought yet, it kind of makes me believe he's just trying to give that opportunity to everybody else. Or maybe he's broke, and that's why, you know, that's why they need the set to do well, so that Matt can make a salary. Oh, wait, no, wait. Matt did buy. Icy Flow, are you seeing this? He bought 2,000 packs right there. That was totally random. I had no idea. We just kind of flipped through. So he has bought. Now I'm curious about Aggroed. Nope. He's also like SPS Whale or Cryptomancer. Cryptomancer has bought 825 packs as well. Who else is there? Biz? Biz has not bought anything. Ain't that interesting? Does anybody know his other? It's Byzantinus, and what else is there? Byzantine Kitty, Byzantinus. But he's nowhere on this leaderboard. And he's dominated gold for a very long time, but I wonder if that's just not going to happen now. He'll make the move over to Wild. Virus, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Long time no speak also. We were just chatting earlier today. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I missed you so much. Just wanted to do another live stream and see what's going to happen during this town square. Oh, yeah. Biz said he's not buying. Okay. Good to know. Biz has been buying gold foil Neb Sunnies. Oh, interesting. Does Biz have a lot of land? I have no idea, actually. Was it Byzantine Kitty? Nope. Byzantinist. I don't know if I'm spelling that right. Why would he be buying gold foil Neb Sunnies? We've been printing a ton of DEC though. They've been burning cards like crazy. Look, another 6 million today. Not burned. More than 6 million printed today. This is starting to get out of control. So I saw we had crossed 8 million yesterday. Oh, we're still at 8 million. Interesting. Are people burning gold foils? Maybe that could be the case too. I've been tracking the gold foil one, but actually the other thing too is gladiator cards. Are gladiator cards getting burned? Damn, 233,000 gladiator cards have been burned? Was it always this high? That's insanity. Okay then. Speaking of gladiator cards, I need to buy more. I need to buy more Gladius packs. Hold on, I'm just curious. Because I haven't done one of those like pack opening videos in a while. Or like Gladius pack openings. And I feel like it's, oh my gosh, look at, I can buy 100 packs almost. All right. We'll wait until this is at 200,000. Damn, these merits have just been loading up for a while. All right. Yeah, I have, because I hadn't bought packs in a while. That's kind of crazy. Sweet. All right. Well, we'll do a 100 Gladius case opening soon. Like it's like 1,500. I might get lucky with chests, but honestly, I hate getting merits in chests. So we'll probably just have to wait until this guild brawl is done. And Virus, I already did the one in the YT account, so thank you for assigning me. I was in there to claim some of the end of season rewards earlier, but I'll do this one later. Let's see where we at. Oof, we're at the bottom. I don't know if you guys see this, but I actually dropped down to silver, which is a little sad because now I'm going to need a bunch of energy in order to get back up to gold at the very least. But the problem was I just played like a couple of games. I think I played like 9 games all of last season in gold. So I didn't rise the ranks because my account was mainly just botted. And now I dropped down. So it's like maybe I shouldn't do any battles in gold and should just stick to wild. But modern is where I have more fun. I feel like the meta is a little bit easier. All right, so from what I've noticed, it's the newer reward cards getting burned. Yeah, I mean, those numbers keep going up. But I was saying I saw it cross 8 million yesterday. And it wasn't much above 8 million previously. Also, looks like some tournaments were added in, like official tournaments by SPS Tournaments. So make sure you guys check those out. I got into the gold. Actually, there's 2 gold ones that I got into, but I haven't seen anything for diamond pop up yet. Let's go back to reward cards. You know, I mean, this does make me consider burning a lot of the cards that I have. The problem is, well, I didn't buy a lot of the cards, which I guess is good. But it's like, how many, in order to get 1 pack, how many Pellicor Bandits would I have to burn? What was it? 4,000 divided by 5. I'd have to burn 800 Pellicor Bandits in order to get a pack of Rebellion. So unless you're like sitting on these things, well, actually, hold on. Yeah, I could sell them for double that value, right? Instead of getting 5 DEC, I'd probably be able to get close to a penny for them. But I don't think anybody's buying these cards right now. Like, all these cards are going for like a penny, pretty much. Oops, let's not just look at death. Oh, sorry, let me do it by price. Damn, Jared Scar's below $1 again? Oh, I should have gotten rid of mine. That's where I bought a bunch of them at. But nothing is below burn value yet. So for epics, it's 10 cents, right? Looks like this is still above 10 cents right now. For legendaries, it's 50 cents with DEC at peg. And then for rares, it's at 2 cents. I don't think we have any 2-cent rares right now. Oh, interesting. Venari Crystal Smith. See, that's the thing. This is a great card too. Yet, it's just too many. And then for these guys, it'd have to be half a penny. And it doesn't look like any of them are there right now. Oh, man. I'm still catching up on sleep from this weekend. Excuse me, guys. All right, let me jump back to the chat. Damn, am I going to use potions? Do you mean like stones, like the blood and power stones? Nah, I don't think so. I don't want to spend the DEC. The packs are free just for participating, so I'll just take my chance. Supreme Victory Network. It feels like the card drop rate has increased. Anyone else? You know, I don't think that changes happen now. There are definitely days where I go through or rewards that I get, and it's just I'll get like 9 chests, and only one chest has cards. I see Flo says I'll never burn cards. I'd rather use them on my bots. Indeed. All right, well, we got 10 minutes before less than 10 minutes before the town square starts. So, any predictions? If we're going to get a land date today, I'm curious to know what your predictions on when that date would be. And if I take a look here at the calendar, I think obviously not tomorrow. That would be a little too soon. If they're going to be able to hit before the Thanksgiving week, right? The Thanksgiving holiday, it would have to be next week, the 7th, right? I'm looking at Tuesdays, the 7th or the 14th. I don't think they're going to do it on the 21st because that's 2 days before a holiday. Some people might be off. And then if they do it afterwards, the 28th, that's literally the week before Rebellion launches. Rebellion launches the following Tuesday on the 5th. So, optimistically, my guess is the 7th or 14th. Probably the 14th. Actually, I have no idea. Watch. What's going to happen is they've been teasing the land date, but they're going to come out and be like, yeah, you know what? We pushed the land date to January 2nd. So now we can just focus on Rebellion. That's the alpha, guys. Stop thinking about land. Only focus on Rebellion. Gosh, if they did that, that would be awful. Although, obviously, I'm just kidding because Matt has previously said, to quote him, that if land does not come out before the end of the year, it'll be a fail. But this will make it for a very exciting end of the year if we do get that. If we do get land sometime in the next 2.5 weeks, and then 3 weeks after that, we get Rebellion. And I'm so pumped for Rebellion, man. I think that the game is going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun again with the new meta, but not just that. I mean, think about the tactics, think about dual element stuff, think about all the other, what's that? Untamed no longer being in modern. I mean, we'll be going up against a bunch of other people. And if we can get decent pack sales, I mean, that's even more DEC locked up in the DAO. Speaking of which, let's take a look at something real quick, which is the rich list. I thought we had passed it. Well, we're right next. I mean, we're almost number 2 on the rich list here. Actually, technically, we're almost number 1 on the rich list here because this first account is a burn account, right? It's null. Oh, but damn, look, Steam Monsters definitely took some off the top. They were at 500 million. Now they're at 426. So that is happening, which is good. I mean, the team needs to do it, right? They needed to sell some. I don't know if they sold. I wonder if there's a way to see what exactly they did with the cards or with the DEC in their account. They might have sent it to SL Market. If anybody knows how to track this on the Hive blocks, that'd be kind of cool. Hive blocks. Oh, Hive Block Explorer. Maybe this one. Search for a username. So Steam. You know what? I don't want to have to think about how to spell something, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Miss D. Who's Miss D? Sent 28 Hive to Steam Monsters 2 minutes ago? What's that about? But I don't think this is... This is only going to be Hive and HBD. Unless we can see like Hive Engine stuff. But even still, they may not have sent it on Hive Engine. It's probably sitting in the game accounts. There's something else that people look at. It's probably not this. Maybe it was the first thing. Hive blocks. Yeah, this looks familiar. They're paying people 10 SPS. Oh, SM Enter Tournament. What is this? Hold on. I'm looking to see SL-market. Nope, that's nowhere on here. Sorry, is there any way to make this... There's no way to make this dark mode because it's killing me. I have to imagine it's killing you guys too. I guess not. Okay. So there's nothing here with SL Market. Now, granted, hold up. When was... this transaction was 2 hours ago. It might have been before that. Man, I would love to see any and all transactions between two different accounts. Let's look up SL Market. There's not much here. Why not? Did I not copy and paste it? Did I not spell it right? SL-market, yeah. All right, hang tight. You use the Explorer on Hive Engine or Hive Engine Explorer? Oh, I did not know that they had one. Ghostly BG, what is going on? Let's go to Hive Engine then, shall we? SL-market. Is that the Explorer you're talking about? Oh, here's Explorer. Okay. Steam Monsters. Thank you, Icy Flow. Who's transferring totems to Steam Monsters? What's that about? Okay, let's look up SL-market. Not here again. Oh, but this is only 38 minutes ago. Nope. Okay. This is an hour ago. SL-market. Nope. All right. I don't have to leave yet, so it looks like the town square starting. So I'm just gonna have that on in the background, and then I'll switch over to my phone when I gotta run. I'm hoping, because I want to chat with you guys afterwards. I'm hoping that this thing I gotta go to in a little bit gets delayed a little bit further, so that we can chat about it on stream. That was my whole goal, but I can't make any promises yet. All right, so Splinterlands, Town Square. So if you want to watch it here with me, you can. If not, no worries. They have not started it on YouTube though. Why not? Oh. Whoa. Chill. All right, so let me change the speakers to. Perfect. Okay. Live streams. They do not have it live on YouTube yet. What's up? I don't want to miss it. I mean, I guess we could go to Twitch. Maybe they're still having issues with YouTube. Hold on. Let me open the thing on Discord. Can't miss the announcement. If they don't have it on YouTube, that'd be really sad.
Added into the set that we hadn't announced yet, so we might ambush everyone with a little surprise additional ability for Rebellion, possibly. So I'll tease that out there. One that
damn, we're late.
The team thinks is really cool and important enough to put out now if it's ready versus waiting for a little later. And Land is coming along really well. I know apparently there's been a rumor that I was going to announce an official launch date for Land 1.5 on this town square. That's not true. I want to purposely wait until I'm like 100% certain that we're going to be launching it before I give
all right, see you guys.
Dates on that. But
just
hopefully next week on the Monday town hall, I'll have more information, possibly even a firm date for everyone that we can announce.
Oh, what?
That's the
disappointment.
Kind of going smoothly from a corporate side. We have continued to reduce our expenses significantly, gotten our company into a much better financial position. The strength of crypto and Bitcoin lately, that always helps us. So that's a bit of a tailwind for us. And I'm still looking into, fundraising, raising capital for the business. Although, that typically takes a while, so there's nothing to report specifically on that yet. But that's kind of it for the quick update for tonight, and we can get into questions before. Again, players can post questions in the town hall channel in Discord. They can even, I think there's a way you can, indicate that you would like to actually come on air and do a voice chat if you want, and Ron will help me keep track of that. Hopefully. I was going to answer. There were a few questions in the chat from.
Help me keep track of that. Hopefully, I was going to answer. There were a few questions in the chat from before the
trolled yet again.
So I was just going to start with those while everyone else kind of starts putting their questions in. So the first one was from Dehoda. Can you speak more on the Chaos Legion pack and card burning? The price of Chaos Legion packs continues to fall. I think some insight on how you and the team plan to give value to that set would be helpful. Thanks. So I don't have any, we haven't specifically figured out what
I'm watching on Twitch for anybody wondering.
And I'll say again is I really liked the DEC burning event we did back in May. And I was thinking the next one we do, and I'd like to do those more often. I was thinking the next one we do, probably maybe early 2024, would be focused on card burning. I don't know if it would be specific to Chaos Legion or not, or just open to everything. But obviously, Chaos Legion would probably be the primary cards that would be burned, just based on their value. And it would have similar types of rewards as the last event. Maybe some new things added in there too. And I think if we can really get a lot of those cards off the market, it'll give the packs more value. And then also, Land 1.5 should be out for quite a while by then. We'll be even quite well on our way to Land 2.0. So I hope that between all of that, it will give, just more value to all cards, most specifically the Chaos Legion cards that are the cheapest right now. And we'll see how that goes, right? That doesn't necessarily have to be the end of it. If that's successful and people like it, we can do that more often. we can do something different, so we'll take it one step at a time. But that stuff won't happen until, like I said, probably early next year, once Land 1.5 is out, and even hopefully 1.6, and Rebellion and all that. Once all that's good, then we can start focusing on these other things. Another question from Maisie WSS. Is there any way to remove Rooney from OpenSea that are not actually purchasable? No, unfortunately, we looked into that early on when that first started happening. There does not seem to be any way to do that. It's very annoying. And, honestly, I expected OpenSea to be a little better than it is, considering, they're the main market and have been doing this for a long time. But yeah, as far as I know, I can ask again and see if someone else has other ideas that the people that created our contract and everything didn't know before. But I'm pretty sure it's just not possible, and so that is what it is. The last of the pre-questions before I get into the new questions was from Roland Eden. Can the team increase the rewards for Modern League, increase the probability of cards, reduce the probability of potions, purchase a battle pass to get additional chests, other rewards? Currently, 95% of the matches are in Wild and only 5% in Modern. This is equivalent to saying that there's no need to buy new card packs as long as you keep playing Wild mode. It's not a good sign for the company, right? Well, I mean, as far as 95% of matches being in Wild, that's just because the bots are in Wild, right? The community voted to ban bots from Modern format. Bots play, there's way more bot accounts than non-bot accounts, and they play a ton more matches, and they have to play in Wild. So that's why the matches are in Wild. But it also means it's much harder to earn rewards in Wild. So yeah, like I guess you don't need to buy any new card packs. You can just keep playing in Wild mode using the old cards, but you probably won't be as effective if you don't buy any new cards and just stick with the old cards. And you will be earning fewer rewards because the rewards, it's the same reward pool is split up against, between everybody who's playing in that league. So if you're trying to maximize your rewards, you want to play in the league where only 5% of the battles are happening, not 95%. So I don't think it's a bad sign at all for the company or anything. But I'm definitely open to finding ways to increase or improve the rewards in general. And we've been, I've talked about in the past that we've had different ideas, and there's been suggestions from the community about how we can change up, the ranked ladders and how that works. So that's something that's like just generally always on the table is, thinking of new ideas for better rewards and incentivizing people to play ranked battles more. All right, getting to the questions in the chat.
And I want to interrupt you just real quick. We do have somebody in queue. Miko is in queue for voice chat as well when you're ready for that.
All right, that sounds good. Let's jump into that first, and then I'll get to the chat questions.
Oh wait, looks like you retracted.
Nope.
Never mind.
Okay, then we'll get to that. Maybe he'll come back later, or someone else will come. Essence of Anarchony is asking, can we get the full breakdown of the stats for the 2 Rebellion promo cards at their different levels before the pre-sale is over? Yeah, no, that is a great question. It didn't, I hadn't thought of the fact that we only released the max level versions. So yes, I don't have those in front of me right now, but I'll ask the team to share that at some point before the pre-sale is over. Definitely, we'll also talk about it maybe next week on the town hall, but I'll try to get it shared before then. So sorry about that for those of you who wanted to see the stats at lower levels. Questions from Flowey about Land 1.6. Will development start right after the 1.5 release? What will it contain? Is it considered a difficult patch? Will it be closer to 1.5 or 2? And who will work on it? So yeah, I mean, basically, I just, as soon as like with anything we do, as soon as the initial release happens, we're just going to keep working on things immediately afterward. I'm sure there's going to be bugs and some stuff in production that we'll need to fix, so those will take priority. But we're just going to go right into the other features, and it's not going to. I don't think the plan is to just wait for like another big Land 1.6 release. It's really just like after 1.5 is released, we'll work on new features, and as soon as they're ready, we'll put them out. Grain LP is going to probably be the #1 highest priority thing. I mean, I'm not super happy that we're planning on releasing 1.5 without the grain LP, but I also don't think it's worth it to wait even longer to get that in. So, but to me, that's one of the most important things, and one of the most exciting things overall about land is the internal liquidity pool. So that's going to be, in my opinion, the top priority as soon as 1.5 is released, and that'll go out as soon as it's ready. As far as is it difficult? I mean, building our own liquidity pools, it's not something like new and innovative. I mean, there's liquidity pools all over the place, so we kind of copy and paste. But putting something like that out is still a project. You have to do it carefully, make sure it's correct, make sure there's no bugs or exploits. So I don't imagine it will be too difficult. And hopefully within no more than like a month, I would hope after 1.5 we would have the grain LP out, and everything else in 1.6 is, I feel like, of less importance than the grain LP. But we'll get to working on those right away, and those, I mean, they'll definitely be closer to the 1.5 release than the 2.0 release. I mean, 2.0 is going to be big. You guys will see the white paper or a draft of it pretty soon. So that's going to be a while before that's ready. But we're just going to constantly keep working on land in 1.5 over time while we work on 2.0. And as for who will work on it, I mean, Farpatrod's probably still going to be leading that project, but as Rebellion is done and we have more developers available, we're going to definitely get more people working on land and kind of focus on that as like our next real major project going forward. Question from Young Eagles. There's been discussion on changing end of season rewards to something else. What are your thoughts on this, Matt? I mean, I'm fine with that if the community wants. Like I said, I've been hesitating to just change rewards or like do little changes, and I'd like to at some point kind of do a bigger change to how ranked works in general, which would also include end of season rewards. My guess is you're talking about leaderboard rewards and not chest rewards. But yeah, if the community wants to do Rebellion packs instead of DEC or really anything else, I'm open to that. We can probably do it through the proposal system to see if the community wants it. But it's fine with me. Let me see, scrolling down here. Question from Thorlock. With the recent divisions of the company, how does this affect GLS fractional node licenses that were promised after the GLX pre-sale to go to SPS license holders? I understand that sale stalled, but wondering what will happen. Can we please have the ability to lock SPS licenses? So I don't really know. I mean, one of the things is I'm specifically and purposely focusing just on Splinterlands, so all those questions have to go to Agrode or to the GLS team. I mean, I wouldn't think that anything that was promised or planned is changing, but I don't make those decisions, and I don't know the details or the timeline on it. And yeah, this has come up many times, the ability to lock all sorts of different assets. And it's really just a matter of priorities. But again, I hope once we get these main things done, being land and Rebellion, we'll have a bunch of people freed up to start working on some of these smaller things that haven't gotten in the past, and locking of licenses and everything else will be part of that.
There was one question right above that one that was not prefaced with question, but he doesn't speak English very well, so.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I missed it because I just scrolled down looking for the question thing. So just a reminder, prefix your questions with the word question. If it's in bold and caps, it's even better, just, so I don't miss it. It's hi, I don't speak English, but what do you think about Russian people, sanctions? Can I take Splinterland, my money, no problems? So if I understand the question, it's about, if you can take money out of Splinterlands, I guess, or put money in. As far as I'm aware, you should be able to, and that it's their cryptocurrency tokens. They're run by the network. Like, we don't directly approve or deny any transactions, so you should be able to access your tokens from your wallet. There's no way we even know that you're from Russia, and you can just publish transactions to the blockchain, even if for some reason you're not able to access our website directly. So I haven't heard of any problems related to Russian sanctions as far as dealing with Splinterlands tokens and assets. Question, Yaba, can you please stop kicking my ass in Modern? I'm not going to agree to that, but I certainly get my ass kicked plenty too. So, you give some, you get some.
Lewis right above there.
Crap. Sorry, I got messed up here. All right, Lewis 88. What's your thoughts on the Switch the Wild, the so-called vintage, and remove the Modern sets out of this? If people want to play Modern cards, they need to be forced to play Modern. Yeah, I think that was. I mean, I'm sure other people might have suggested it, but I also suggested that at some points or thought about that. I'm again, like if that's what the community wants, I'm totally fine with it. I think it makes sense. In certain ways, and there's probably pros and cons. So if that's something someone feels strongly about, I'd say that's something that would be good for the proposal system to be used for, and see if the community agrees. And if the community wants it, I think we'd be more than happy to implement it. Yeah, I mean, and as far as bots go on that one, like I guess that would probably mean that starter cards wouldn't be usable in Wild format then, since the starter cards are always the Modern card sets. So that that could be a benefit in that it would require all the bot accounts to actually own or rent cards in order to play, even beyond the fact that you don't get rewards or you get reduced rewards. So, again, I'm open to it if that's what the community wants. Question from Paul TRX. Some clarity on research points would be nice. If I need research points to level up a building, will I need to do that research twice if I have plots in different territories, or once for my account, so it will apply to all plots no matter what territory they're in? Yeah, so you don't need research points to level up any of your buildings. Research points only go toward the Secret of Praetoria project, and they apply to the Secret of Praetoria project in their territory. So if you have plots across different territories that are earning research points, they will apply toward the Secret of Praetoria project in that territory. So you may be contributing to the project in different territories, which is fine. It just means if one of those territories, unlocks the secret before the other or hits a milestone, you'll get those, the portion of the rewards there for the amount that you contributed in that territory. But if in the other territory, we'll need to wait until the next milestone is hit there. So hopefully that's clear. Like, so you won't. Research points are not they're not a tradable resource or anything. They just kind of accumulate in your account for each territory and automatically get put towards that secret project, and you'll just automatically earn rewards once your territory as a whole reaches different milestones in the secret project construction. So hopefully that covers it. Question from J-Man. Can you speak to your current thoughts on the importance for the DAO to hire Claiborne? I've been on the fence and voted no. Maybe you can help me understand why this is so important right now, and I would consider changing how I voted. Yeah, I mean, so I guess the main thing is for, up until now and including now, the Splinterlands company has been basically managing the DAO, taking care of anything that the DAO needs to do, making sure things get implemented, making sure, funds get paid, dealing with tournaments, all that stuff. And that's not something we should be doing. And it's not something we're in as much of a position to do going forward. So I think it would, rather than the DAO just kind of be hanging out there with no one that specifically works for it and taking care of whatever needs to be done for the DAO, I think it would be very beneficial to have for the DAO to say to appoint someone to just take care of all these types of different things that may be beneficial for the DAO. So, it's, I guess, it's not the end of the world if the DAO doesn't do that. And I'm open. To me, it's fine. Whoever the DAO wants to pick to do that. Clay is just someone who came to me specifically and suggested that he would be interested in that. So that's why I wrote the proposal. There wasn't a whole bunch of people. No one else mentioned it to me or came to me or said anything about being interested in doing that. But if they, if someone else wants my help, or I'd be happy to help them, or wants to submit a proposal on their own, that's fine. But I do think it is important for the DAO to start, considering itself its own separate organization, and it needs to be able to stand on its own and manage things on its own, and it needs somebody to do that. So I do think it is important. Question from Golden Raven 42: Can we have proof of life for Uncle Aggie? We miss him. Yeah, this has definitely, I think, been difficult for Aggie. But I don't know if I can provide proof of life, but he is doing fine. He is there. I'm sure. I expect that you're going to start hearing more from him, especially around the GLS stuff and in that Discord, soon. But he's taking over that part of the business, and I haven't heard that he's not planning on doing that or taking that very seriously. Question: What is the correct procedure in changing the leaderboard rewards? Does informal poll and Discord count, or do we need a DAO vote? I mean, ultimately, that's well, if you're talking about SPS, well, the leaderboard rewards are DEC, I guess. So it doesn't need a DAO vote, but I don't think we're just going to go ahead and start changing things without, getting the real temperature of the community on that type of stuff. And I think the whole DAO proposal system is a great way to do that, right? I mean, having a informal poll in Discord, not everybody's in Discord, or certain people might be in Discord at the time we do the poll. It's really hard to actually get a feel for what the community as a whole thinks, whereas the proposals are a great way to do that. So I would suggest going the proposal route, and you can see if the community overwhelmingly feels that a certain change should be made, then we'd be happy to do it. Scrolling down here. All right, we got some long questions from Icy Flow. Post Rebellion, can we go to a weekly card release with 30 days to buy, or mini sets every 3 months and a monthly promo card? It will be reliable revenue that most can afford. Seems easier to balance and develop cards this way. It's really not. It's actually pretty difficult to split up the sets, and would there be different packs for each of those? So we've kind of looked at that in the past. I mean, I didn't spend too much time on it, but it's difficult, and having something that we have to do every 30 days, that just distracts the team every 30 days, and it's we'd have to build out a system that could automate that, or even every 3 months. So it creates a lot of extra work for us to have something to release and monitor on a regular basis. And then it's hard, these mini sets, the math is hard to work out with packs with not that many cards in them. The Essence Orb packs were kind of messy as far as there were so few cards in them, and you just kind of always got the same few common cards, and the numbers weren't quite right. So it's kind of a difficult thing to do. So we don't need necessarily, it doesn't matter to us to have reliable revenue in that, or not reliable, but it doesn't matter if our revenue is kind of all at once and then there's a lull for a period. We just have to plan for that. So as long as when we are planning for that, definitely. So it's not going to be better for the company if the revenue is roughly the same every month versus a big sale and then a lull for a while. So it never really seemed worth it to us for the extra work to do that. But I do want to do promo cards, not monthly, but every 3 months. And it might not just be a single promo card, maybe a little set of promo cards, 4, we've done for some things in the past. So that'll add a little excitement, I guess. And I guess the next part of the question is, can reward cards be released in a similar fashion? So yeah, reward cards are something we may be able to do more in that way, because they're not in a set in packs and all that stuff. So reward cards we may be able to release in pieces over time, rather than in a big lump. So that's something we may look into for the Rebellion reward cards. And the third question from Icy Flow: with the biggest unknown and hesitation of people voting for the Claiborne proposal being the duties and responsibilities of the DAO steward, can you agree to submit a new proposal in 3 months to properly define the role and offer a new contract to Claiborne and void the current one? So we give him 3 months to figure out the role and properly define it. In the event the proposal in 3 months fails, a new job position will be posted for the role, and Claiborne will continue the role until the position is filled and voted on. I mean, I'm not sure I need to necessarily even do that. I mean, the community anyone can make a proposal to end that contract or change that contract at any time. So, I'm happy to do that in the future if people feel like, there's things that need to be changed or it's not going well, or someone else can. But it's like, it's a very flexible thing here. I hope people don't see it as like this is how it's going to be forever if this proposal passes. And I think, I agree. Like after a few months of doing it, we should be able to very clearly see like what he's needed to do, and define the role more. So, yeah, if the community wants to put up a new proposal with more clearly defined roles, that's fine, and I'd be happy to support that or help with that. Okay, let me see here. Question from Key to the Gate regarding possible card burning event. What are your thoughts of card crafting? GU, I guess that's Gods Unchained, uses such mechanism now where certain crafting recipes are followed in order to burn some exact old cards in order to get certain new cool promo cards. This could be done in Splinterlands with crafting recipes or simply having promo card for card burning event. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I would like to do is, I talked about doing promo card releases, around quarterly. So I have been considering like promo cards could be part of the rewards for the next burning event, for the card burning event. I'm not sure. I mean, we are going to have a crafting system for new cards, and that's going to be part of the land expansion. I don't think we're not planning to do something of like burning existing cards in certain ways to craft other cards, but giving out promo cards for the burning event is definitely something I'm thinking about and would like to do. Yeah, and I do want to make sure generally, like if we do a card burning event, that it's going to be well worth it for people to burn, especially like at least the cheaper cards, and like the Chaos Legion reward cards and those. So for people who I've been buying those up on the market like crazy, mostly for me to use on land, but also, I expect they can potentially be burned in this event for a lot of cool stuff that'll be more valuable than where they're at the cheap prices. Well, VC Dragon has a question. When land live? Will it be live this year? Yeah, so I mentioned I don't have a specific date that I can announce right now. It will definitely be live this year, hopefully on the sooner side rather than later side. Question from Young Eagles 95. Approximately when will we get an updated roadmap, just so we have an idea of what's in the pipeline after Land and Rebellion launch? I don't plan to make an updated roadmap until after Land and Rebellion launch, but that's one of the first things we're going to work on. Like, the company will work on at the end of the year or early next year. So I'm looking at like January. We'll try to give a roadmap for 2024. Nerd Cthulhu has a question. Do the plans to include rebellion packs and chests not go against the major goal of maintaining secondary places close to the main sale? A lot of packs go to bots and they dump them right away. I thought we were taking another approach this time. Yeah, I mean, that's a good consideration. In the scheme of things, the amount of packs and chests are pretty small. But, the DAO is the one responsible for the distribution of the packs. So I guess like the default method that we have used is that packs were available in chests at the current rates. So I'd very much welcome a DAO proposal to do that differently, or just to not include them in chests, and see what the community thinks about that. But I guess we were planning on keeping it the same unless the DAO directs us otherwise. Yeah, Ron, I don't know if we have anyone else who wanted to speak on stage, but just jump in and let me know.
I sure will. There's nobody right now. And if you guys do want to speak on stage, just click the request to speak button at the bottom. It's a little hand, and make sure that your mic is working and you've got your headphones on.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate that, Ron. Next question is from Paul TRX. Will land have a progression tree similar to what a lot of civilization type games have? It sounds like the research points don't have to do with that. I guess it's not. There is actually this big flow chart that I've been working on that I can't wait to release to everyone. But Nate's going to kill me if I just release it in my version before he gets to make it look nice. So you'll get to see that pretty soon when the draft of the 2.0 white paper is ready. So it looks, I guess that the flow chart looks similar to a Civ type progression tree. The flow chart is really just all the different resources and all the different buildings. And I look at it more of a supply chain rather than a progression tree. So they're like the different resources, you get them, you mine them off your plots for plots that have certain resources, and then you'll need to combine them with other resources in different buildings to create yet refined resources. Then you can use the refined resources for different things. So that's sort of how that will work, and it's like a similar. It's not like as much a progression tree as more like, because you can build buildings on your plot to pick any point in the whole supply chain. You can just be right at the end where you're taking refined resources and using them for something ultimately to create items and spells. So you don't need to necessarily work up to that, but it's just like there's all these different places that people can focus on with their land plots, because I want it to be a very diverse economy. So if you only have a few land plots somewhere, you got to kind of pick what's the best thing for you to focus on. So part of that's going to be based on what type of land you have, what resources it has, what rarity it is. But then you can also look at market pricing on the internal markets, like what resources are more valuable right now or in this certain area. Do you want to provide liquidity and build storage, or refine resources, or produce natural resources, or whatever it is. So I guess it's like there's a flow chart that looks similar to a progression tree, but it's not a progression tree. It's just more a chart of the whole supply chain from basic natural resources all the way through eventually items and spells, and you can kind of pick where you want to focus there. But then the buildings, when the buildings level up, they don't necessarily you don't choose to level it up in one direction or another. It just will get more efficient or have benefits as you level it up. But you will be able to repurpose a building. So if you build a a farm and you end up wanting to change it to a mill or something, you'll be able to do that for a cost, and allow people to sort of you're not locked into one thing just because you originally built that building on your land. A lot of this hopefully will become much more clear when the draft of the Phase 2 white paper is available. What do you think will prompt people to burn cards, since there are fewer things to give away this time? Last time we got guild power as well, so a lot thought the prizes were a bonus. Well, I mean, I wouldn't assume that there's fewer things to give away this time. I'd actually, I plan to do a DAO proposal to allot some Riftwatcher packs, possibly even Rebellion packs. And like I said, I'd like to do possibly promo cards, maybe multiple different promo cards that you can get for burning the other cards, and maybe some other different things. There may even be some land-related things that you can get from the card burning. So, the rewards will be different, but my goal is to incentivize people heavily to burn all this excess card inventory, and we got to make the rewards worth it for that. So, we're gonna structure that appropriately. Question from Rondon. How do you feel about the Hive DAO funds proposals via daily payments while Stake is supporting versus the all or nothing nature of current proposals? Is this the direction the proposal system will go when the SPS validators enter further development? Yeah, that's basically, like you said, how the Hive DAO does it. It is a cool way to do it. I think it makes it things pretty flexible. I guess there are some cons, which is that, if someone is doing a project and they need a certain amount of funds, it's hard to count on that, right? Because their votes could drop below the threshold at any time, and then all of a sudden they don't have funding anymore. So it can be hard for people or certain projects or certain things to work under that environment. So I feel like, things are pretty open. Like with the Claiborne proposal, he'll be getting monthly payments, and the DAO can have a proposal to stop that at any time. And even, the proposal was edited to allow that contract to be ended with only a majority vote versus a supermajority vote. So I feel like even with our current proposal system, we can still structure the proposals to have daily, weekly, or monthly payments, and then the community can separately vote to stop that. So it's sort of like a poor man's version of the Hive DAO, but it gives us more flexibility, and it does allow people, if they need a certain amount of money up front and need to be able to count on it, they can do that.
Well, I have a follow-up question then. So
yeah, why don't you come on voice chat?
Well, does that mean that the UI of the proposal system on splinterlands.com can be changed to have any % threshold?
It doesn't currently allow for that, but yeah, it can be changed to do anything our awesome developers build it to do, and that would be, they'll build it to do what the community wants it to do or needs it to do. So yes, if we need that, then we'll add it in.
Okay. I was just thinking if that was something that somebody did make that proposal, then that would have to be a priority, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that should be a very, very simple change to add different thresholds. It might even be in there for all I know, but just to add different thresholds for passing for different types of proposals should be no problem.
Okay.
Question from Intrepid Surfer: what are the first items and spells you have in mind to be produced via land? I don't know yet. We haven't specifically. It's not going to be just like there's like a few. We're going to release like a whole set of them. And we have tons and tons of ideas, but the whole summoner tactics that we're releasing as part of Rebellion, I think is going to really help us, see what things would be really cool or what make the game more fun and what people like. And I think that's the type of stuff we're going to focus on with items and spells. So I intend for the focus to be things, but the whole idea is like you pick your teams, then you see both teams on the battlefield, and you have to sort of play out the battle in your mind and guess how it's going to go. And then the items and spells should allow you to try to change the outcome, right? So you think about how the battle's going to go. You see, it might not be going well for me for these reasons. What items and spells can I use that will change that will affect how the battle plays out in a way that benefits me? And also, try to anticipate and counter what your opponent does. So what we have like hundreds and hundreds of different cool ideas, and we're going to be experimenting with a lot of them with the summoner tactics. And then the items and spells are going to take the summoner tactics to an entirely new level of like way more options, way more cool things, and should make the game way more fun, hopefully. Question: has salt been added as an official resource in Land 2.0? Not yet. But I would definitely like to add it. So I have a bunch of different ideas of how it can be added in. I just honestly haven't gotten much time for the Land 2.0 stuff yet. There's just so much going on with restructure of the company and reducing expenses and just figuring out everything. I just haven't gotten to it, but I do want to release the first draft of Land 2.0 around when Land 1.5 launches, and I've mentioned that I don't think that's too far away. So my hope is that in that draft, salt will be in there, and hopefully it'll be something pretty cool that you guys will like. I did kind of have a thought that we'd add salt in as something you could earn, but it doesn't do anything. Just so people will be salty about getting all the salt, it doesn't do anything. But I'm not sure we're actually going to do that, and we'll probably have it be used for something.
We do have two people in the voice queue now.
Oh yeah, all right. Let's get them on, and let's also probably stop the questions. I don't know how many there are, but I can't run too late today.
All right, we got Aziricon here live on with us.
Hey Ron, can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, hey, Matt, the question is for you. This latest addition to Clay's proposal about the, just about 50% or 51%, that is kind of random. Can you shed some light on that? And whose thought process is that, and we normally go with the super majority, 67%. So if Dow wants to fire Clay, I prefer it to be 67%, unless we vote as a community to change it. That's 51%. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of this proposal. So if this proposal passes, that's effectively the Dow saying that they agree to that stipulation, among everything else in the proposal. The reasoning, I mean, this was brought to me by Clay, and he said that it was suggested by some community members. I don't know who specifically, but the reasoning seems to be that, I kind of touched on this earlier. A lot of people feel like, once things are put in place and done, they seem sort of like permanent, and it makes people a little hesitant to try things out because it seems very difficult to undo them in the future. So this would make this a little bit easier to undo and more like allow it to be, some people who might be on the fence about it could hopefully feel a little more open to giving it a try, understanding that it will be easier to undo it, if they feel like it's not going well. And then also Clay said, he doesn't feel comfortable representing the Dow also if more than 50% of the people, don't want him there, right? So, it would be something like where 33% or 1/3 of the SPS token holders could just keep him in this position when the majority doesn't want him there, and that's a difficult position for Clay or anyone to be in. So that's why I kind of agreed with that and thought it would be a good stipulation. But ultimately, again, like someone you could suggest a proposal to change that stipulation, assuming this one passes. If you feel like it should still be a supermajority, you can make a proposal to change that piece of it or anything else. So that's the thought process behind it.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. Isn't Clay the nicest guy?
Yeah, I think he would be a good candidate to have.
Yeah, who would propose that? Like, you guys can fire me with 51% vote. Who would propose that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though. Like, it'd be a weird position to be in where he represents the Dow, where the majority of the token holders don't want him there representing them.
Yeah.
So I get
Thank
it.
you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Hope things are going well with you. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
All right, and next up we have Aftersound. He has decided to come here to sing us a question.
Hey, Matt, Ron, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
I wish I was ready to sing this one to you, but I'll do my best. So, Matt, myself and several other folks got together this past weekend just to do a little casual meetup. We streamed a bunch of tournaments and just had a good time, and found that it was really re-energizing after how difficult, the past couple of months, maybe even just this entire bear market has been. And so I think it's inspired a lot of other people to try and plan some meetups here and there. My question for you is, if we were to try and do or plan a meetup near where you're located, would you be interested in joining? And again, this would be not Splinterlands official, but just something that's more casual and obviously maybe planned around your schedule, because I think, like I said, the vibe, the energy was really good, and I just think it could be something that would be kind of like an unofficial Splinterfest and have a guest appearance by you. So just putting that out there, but of course, no pressure.
Oh man, I would 100% do that. I love meetups. I've been going to crypto, like Bitcoin and crypto meetups in the Philadelphia area since like 2017, and I try to go as often as possible. Still, they have a bunch in this area. So if there was a Splinterlands one, I would absolutely be there. I mean, I'd even be willing to travel a bit farther for something like that. So let's talk and let's plan that out. I'd be happy to also help, fund it if it needs any type of funding or anything for that. Personally, I'd be happy to do that. I love meetups. I love the in-person stuff. I would love to do another also Splinterfest at some point when we're in a better position to do that, because I just think it was amazing. So I love it.
Awesome. Well, then we'll maybe start planning for 2024. Thanks again.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, let me get back to the Discord questions. Hopefully I can get to all of them in the next 15 minutes. But if not, I'll try to stay on a little bit longer. Question from Ayao Cole. Do you think it would be good to have / add guild chests so the players can be more encouraged to play? Yeah, absolutely. We had a whole kind of partially done design for a complete revamp of guilds that did include something like guild chests that players could earn. That is going to be one of the things on the roadmap for 2024. Question from Suales Consuela. Is tech modernization on hold till post 1.5 in Rebellion? If not, what percent completion are we at? Yeah, I mean, everything new that we build is obviously, using the tech modernization client. It's just kind of the main battle parts and guilds, I think, are the two main things. Like tournaments, guilds, and battles, which is, I guess, like the main portion of the game. That still hasn't been updated, but that's like the hardest piece to update. And that is not currently being actively worked on. Again, with our recent cost reductions, we need to just very heavily prioritize, and that's not the highest priority. But at some point, I do definitely want to get back to finishing that up and getting it done. So I don't know about a percentage completion. Like percentage of different web pages on the site is pretty high. Probably like in the 80%, but like it's the most difficult ones that we haven't done yet. So, maybe as far as difficulty or time, we're at like 50% or something, would just be my off the top of my head guess. Question from Cutting Edge. How do you feel about the current proposal cost? Is it possible the cost is too high, causing fewer proposals to be submitted? I think the cost is pretty good. I've offered to help cover or partially cover the cost for proposals that other people are submitting if cost is a problem, and I think the proposal's good. But I really feel that it's important to have a relatively high cost for the proposals. Like, we really don't want a situation where people are just throwing everything out there because it's cheap and easy to do. Like, that's going to be a mess. It's going to make people kind of ignore the proposals. So we really want people, like, if you're going to do a proposal, spend some time really thinking it through, talking to the community, talking to the stakeholders. Like, it should be a big deal. There should be a lot of thought and time behind it. So I think the proposal cost is good. But again, that's not up to me. That's up to the community. So if the community wants to change it, they certainly can. On a question from Fanny Baws, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being very unlikely, 5 being very likely, what would you say the likelihood of Land 1.5 being available this November? I'm going to say 4.5. I really want it to be 5, but life happens. So yeah, the goal is to get it available in November. And even before the launch of Rebellion. So yeah, I'll put it at 4.5. Question from Paul TRX. Thoughts on Land producing consumables and not just land card items and spells? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think there's opportunity for Land to produce all different sorts of stuff. I feel like Land is like, obviously there's a very concrete thing of 1.5 and 2.0 and producing the items and spells and all that. But generally, Land is sort of this general thing of like all the new stuff we plan to do on the game is probably going to revolve around Praetoria in different ways, including like boss fights and other cool things. So item and spells are going to be the main thing. Some of those may be consumable. Like, we haven't gone through all we haven't made any final decisions or designs for items and spells, but there's definitely going to be other stuff that you can produce on Land. I mean, just the main resources that you produce on Land are themselves consumables. But I definitely want to integrate Land with all the other parts of the game, not just through items and spell cards. So, yes. Well, Icy Flow has more of a DAO question. There needs to be a better forum for creating proposals that are passable. Oh, he's replying to a different question. Yeah, well, hopefully Claiborne can help with whatever the community thinks there needs to be for making proposals. Another question from Paul. How is the Hive DAO proposal going? Have you figured out what you want to ask for from that? I plan that to me is more of like a last option. So I want to, I was going to kind of wait till closer to the end of the year or early next year, see where things stand and see if it makes sense to put a Hive DAO proposal. I think that's going to be, even though obviously our game's on Hive, it's the biggest thing on Hive and it's extremely important to Hive. I expect that's going to be a difficult one to get through. So I want to really wait and see if we actually need it, or figure out, how to make it make sense. And I have been talking to some of the stakeholders and getting their feedback. There's definitely some support, but I was kind of, we're not like, we're not desperate right now. Things are going pretty well, actually, financially for the moment. So I was waiting for, a little later before I do a Hive DAO proposal. Farpatrod responds 9 on the scale of 1 to 5. All right. Well, Farpatrod's the one who's going to make it happen, so I'll go with his number there. Question from Axler Twinblade: thoughts on unlocking soulbound cards? Cost being reduced by burning up to an equal amount of BCX of the exact same card to make sure the card's tradable liquidity remains low. A common card's unlock card could be reduced 50% by burning an additional 400 BCX of that card. I'm not sure I follow the exact details of that. Why don't you DM me with a little more specifics?
He's saying that instead of unlocking a card for X amount of DEC, you get a 50% discount if you burn a bunch of that same card as well while unlocking it. So if you want to unlock a common card, you could a max level common card, you could burn a max level common card and get a 50% off the DEC cost to unlock it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's saying the same exact card. I mean, because you can already burn cards and get DEC from it, and you can just apply that to the cost to unlock the other cards. Either way, I'm always open to ideas. Most of our ideas that we have in the game have come from community members. So I'm saying just it's hard for me to think through these things live while I'm, on air on one of these things. So anytime anyone has a kind of involved idea to consider, message me. I love to read about these things and consider them. And when I have more time and mental energy to spend on it. Question from 1258. When's Splinterfest number 2? Well, we just happened to talk about that. I loved Splinterfest. I think it was awesome. I love in-person meetups and events. So as soon as the company is in a reasonable position and all of our higher priority things are taken care of and things are going well, perhaps in the next bull market, whenever that should come, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure out how we can make it happen because I thought it was great. Question from Quantum Nachos: there was talks about the stadium system for land eventually, with similar staking like GLG stadiums and potentially a graveyard system for a form of unlimited card staking building. Are any of these still a possibility in future updates? Yeah, I was thinking of a stadium system for the way to distribute the SPS rewards initially, but actually more recently, just looking at the state of the ecosystem, I was actually thinking of proposing putting a DAO proposal to just stop the SPS rewards for land completely in phase 2.0 and just not have SPS be one of the rewards that's given out from land. I mean, in 2.0, there's going to be so much stuff to get from land, so many resources, so many different things you can do that I feel like the actual SPS earning piece of it is going to be so small and inconsequential anyway in the scheme of things that it might be better to just reduce the inflation rate of SPS, take out that however many million a month pool, just to help the supply demand ratio there. So that was one of the things I was going to plan to propose to the community. Obviously, if the DAO wants SPS to continue to be given out through land, then we'll go ahead and build out that stadium system for it. But if not, I kind of think it would be better just to get rid of that whole SPS inflation pool entirely, and have land focused on all the other cool new land stuff. As far as a graveyard system, the plan is actually that currently you'll be able to stake unlimited cards on the Secret of Praetoria projects. We talked about research points earlier. The research points goes to researching the secret project, but you'll also need worker cards and resources to actually construct the project. Like the research points won't construct the project. I look at it like I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again for the people who might not have been listening whenever it was. It was a long time ago. I look at the whole Secret of Praetoria project like the movie Contact. If you guys ever seen that movie, where basically they receive like a message from outer space from aliens, and like first they have to spend all this time like figuring out what the message is and how to decode it and what it means, and eventually they figure out. This is going to be some spoilers here, so I apologize if people haven't seen Contact. But they figure out it's to construct this thing, and they don't know what it is. And so that's how I see the whole Secret of Praetoria research project, as like you have to get these research points, and once you get enough research points in your region, or sorry, in your territory, you kind of like figure out how to, and you don't know what it is, this big construction project. So once you hit the next threshold of research, then players will need to stake worker cards and DEC and all the different land resources in there also to actually construct the thing. And that will help you earn the rewards too. So you'll get rewards by contributing research points and cards and resources and everything. And that I plan to allow unlimited cards, unlike the buildings, which only have 5 slots. People will be able to do unlimited cards. But I was thinking that only max level cards would be allowed to be like, strong enough to work on this project. So you can, there's no limit, but you can't do like 10 million level 1 cards. And I'm hoping that will since hopefully the research project will be very popular and a lot of people will want to contribute to it, that should hopefully get a lot of cards contributed. Sorry, that was a long one, but the land stuff is really cool, and I'm happy to get to talk about it a little bit before the full white paper draft is released. Question from Flowey: what do you think of earning or buying recipes for various actions around land or guilds, which could be used to craft items and spells? Only people who bind the recipes to their accounts can ultimately use them and craft what they have inscribed to them using land resources. They can be undefined at first, just rare epic and legendary sealed recipe scrolls at first and later revealed. Yeah, I mean, we haven't specifically figured out all the details for how exactly item and spell crafting will work. That's phase 3 of land. There's like a lot of that in land phase 2 white paper, so you can kind of see how the resources kind of go toward that. But I think there's all kinds of opportunity to do recipes and things like that for actually crafting the items and spells once that's ready. Question from Young Eagles 95: can you share your thoughts on current rewards and soulbound rewards? Do you have any updated thoughts on this? Do you think this will continue to be the system of having non-liquid rewards except for SPS, kind of, since it comes to staked and packed? I've kind of liked the whole system of the soulbound cards that can later be unsoulbound. Obviously we haven't seen how it goes later once because they're not able to be unsoulbound yet. But I found that it's given me like a lot more incentive to actually play the game that I didn't have before. But I'm always open to ideas. So I don't have any specific new or different ideas on how to do that. But if you or anyone else has those ideas, let me know. Question from Fat Jimmy: approximately how far away, how long you estimate until we can start to actively work on attracting new players? I don't know. Like I said, we're going to be working on the roadmap for 2024 toward the end of the year or early next year, and that's going to be in it. But, there's a lot of stuff we got to finish up in the product before it makes economic sense to do that. So, yeah, I don't know, but hopefully we'll have a pretty clear roadmap within the next few months for the next year or so. And that's one of the highest priority things in my mind, is going through the whole new player experience and making sure if we get new people in here, which is not easy, that we can make it worthwhile, get them to stick around. And because I feel like once people really get it, once they see the whole thing and the whole picture and understand how everything works, that's most of everybody here. They stick around, they get very involved. They put a lot into the game, into the product. We just have to get over that hump, right? We have to make it an easy and fun and step-by-step experience to get people there. So yeah, it's really important, but we just got to finish Rebellion, got to finish Land, got to make a plan for Land 2.0 and beyond, and then that's going to be a big part of the roadmap for next year. So we've hit the end of the questions, and the timing seems pretty good. We're at 1 minute left. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate the questions, people who came on. Hopefully we'll have, a more exciting and land-focused update for you next week on the town hall. Talk to you then.
Uh-oh, what's gonna happen to this song in like 5 weeks? All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and remove that. All right. How's everybody doing? Thankfully, I don't have to run just yet, but probably very soon. So we can do just a little bit of recap, and then I'll try to get my 5 biggest takeaways out a little bit later. Maybe tomorrow, unfortunately. I forgot where we were. We were looking at the Hive blocks. So yeah, we can come back to this. How's everybody feeling? What did you all get from that town square outside of disappointment that land? We still don't have a date for land. It sounds like they're going to try their best to shoot for November. So with no announcement today, November 7th is out, in my opinion. And if they're going to try to make an announcement next week, my guess would be November 14th. Because just once again, looking at the dates, November 21st is the Tuesday before a holiday, right? The people are going to be off for Thanksgiving that week or later that week. So I don't think there's any way they're going to launch it right before a holiday. People are going to be on break. If they do the 28th, if they're really trying to get out in November, that's 1 week before Rebellion. I just think you're stacking too much 1 week after a holiday and 1 week before Rebellion. So the 14th is the only thing that makes sense, which then begs the question. Matt said that there's a 90% chance that land comes out in November. And he didn't say 90%. Somebody asked him on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident is he that it's going to come out this month or something like that? He said 4.5. So I'm just saying that's 90%. If it doesn't come out, if we are ever so lucky to hit that 10% jackpot, when does it come out? Because it's not going to come out. It wouldn't come out on the 28th if they're not trying to stack it then. It's not going to come out on the 5th because that would literally be the day that Rebellion launches. Would it come out on the 12th? I mean, that'd be almost like a month later. And really the last option, because I mean, people start to go on holiday break and stuff like that. If you can push for the 19th, but again, that's like within a week of Christmas, people are just off for the holidays. This is what I'm trying to get at. There's 2 dates in my mind. There are 2 potential dates for land to come out before the end of the year, because we just ruled out November 7th today. So it's November 14th and December 12th. If it is neither of those days, I don't think we're getting land in 2023, which, as Matt said, would be a massive fail. All right, so is land here? No, land is not here. We thought we were going to get an announcement tonight, but they got us again. I mean, who do we blame this time? Is it Farpetrod? Farpetrod is the one who started this rumor, and Matt immediately got on and put it to bed. So I don't know. Myra says I was listening in. Lots of land alpha drop though. Yeah, let's see. I took some notes here, which will eventually turn into the 5 biggest takeaways. I like the idea of a vintage format. I did not think about how starter cards would be affected and how that would impact bots. That's pretty cool. No land update. Okay, let's see. Matt didn't like the idea of more mini sets. I think I made a video about that recently. I don't know. I like it, but I understand the team would need to build the infrastructure for it. No roadmap until next year. We might vote on no rebellion packs and chests. That could be interesting. I don't have any land. What was the land alpha? None of my notes are like land related. Maybe I just tuned out everything land related at that point. So today was the definite maybe announcement next week. Maybe. Did I understand that right? Yeah. I mean, you know what? Matt never said he was going to come on and give an announcement. Farpetrod did. So I guess if you're going to hold anybody's feet to the fire, it would be Farp. What's up, Stock Jockey? Good to see you here, man. Dude, yeah, Farp said in map chat to expect an announcement today, so it was the last minute bug thing. Interesting. Okay, maybe there was a last minute bug, but man, see, this is they just gotta stop doing this. I'll be honest. I'm in a really good mood. I'm still on that whole like post after dark fest kind of energy. And so I'm not going to be salty about this. But if I just take it back for a second, right? Just become emotionless, just look at this objectively. They literally did the same thing that they did in August when they lost everybody. So here we are, 2.5 months later, with once again, hey, announcement coming soon. And no, sorry, there's no announcement yet. Oh, also, this thing is not guaranteed to come out in November. It's a 90% chance, which is still pretty good, right? But keep in mind, in August, we had 100% chance that it was going to hit Mav server, and it didn't, because they said it's coming out this weekend, right? They didn't say there's a chance. They said it's coming out this weekend. So percentages don't mean anything. All right, I'm going to go back. We'll keep that post after dark fest energy, and we won't focus too much on the negatives here, but it does suck. It does suck. They really need to be more careful about that, personally, in my opinion. All right, Harry says, I've been tracking SPS staking for the past 3 weeks in DEC SPS burning. We are heading in the right direction. There could be some really interesting things ahead. Yeah, we've burned like 100,000 SPS. What is the deal? Why are people doing that? I mean, I know we're close, but it just does not make any sense to be burning SPS for DEC right now when you can go swap it. When you can just go swap it. Cyberblock, Farb was hyping land all week. Yeah, I mean, he's been hyping land for months, but he did clearly say announcement this week. You missed the start. The start was just everybody finding out that we're not going to find out about land. Vintage format would effectively ban 90+% of bots. Well, Virus, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, it's not going to do anything to the bots, really, because the bots already own the cards. So I like the idea, because then you can't just have accounts coming in. Those accounts wouldn't earn anything anyway if they're using starter cards. But it would definitely help the meta for a lot of the issues that I see, for example, in Modern. So it could make Vintage a very interesting format to play in. It wouldn't ban the bots, because the bots still need to own cards. But oh wait, you're right. I just saw your updated thing. The bots own Modern cards, man. And you know what else this would do for Vintage? I don't own any Alpha, Beta, or Untamed, but that would give a hell of a lot of value to Alpha, Beta, and Untamed. And you know what else? When Chaos rotates out of Modern format and goes into Vintage, I don't know that it would give a lot of value to Chaos, but all of a sudden, like, Chaos then wouldn't be competing with Rebellion, which has all of these new gadgets and tricks and summoner tactics and all that, right? I'm not saying that Chaos Legion would like be saved at that point, but it's just interesting to think about. All right, land looks like it'll be next year, January, February. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Darkest Night is still right. Land 2024. Our research will only be for the secret, not used for upgrading anything. There'll be points to hit in your region to release some kind of. Oh yeah. I guess I tuned that out a little bit. You can build a farm or other building in the same plot. You can do grain on stone plot. You know what? I need to go back and listen to it. I was probably messaging trying to see how late I could leave. Are the bots own Modern cards, and your rewards in WoW would be cards you can't play? Oh, that is interesting. I mean, okay, that's a really big wrinkle. You're receiving these rewards to play in Vintage. But let's be honest here. If you're playing in the Vintage format, then hold on 1 second. All right, I'm gonna have to run in like a couple minutes here. If you're playing in the Vintage format, it's because you own the cards and you've probably been around for a while. Modern is specifically where new players should go. So sure, you're getting rewards in the new you're getting rewards in the new Modern format, but I would say we'll get to a place where most new players are coming in and playing modern only, and whereas vintage players will be able to go back and forth. Plus, there'll be other opportunities like tournaments, like brawls. It kind of opens up an opportunity to have a third format, right? And yeah, not that I want to divide the reward pool even more, but I did talk about this a while back, where it's just like we could have. I didn't call it vintage. I called it classic, right? So you have modern, classic, and then wild. Wild is still everything, but this vintage thing that they're talking about would be everything non-modern. So could be different places that you go into, and again, it would probably help. But there'd be a couple things that would be involved with this. You'd need to have the team put the dev time in to create that third format, and then of course have the proposal pass. Well, you probably do that first just to make sure. Have the proposal pass to then split the SPS rewards in between. But when this could make the most sense? If we take land, SPS rewards going to land away from land, and again, that would only be when 2.0 is live. That could be an interesting time to implement this, because we give out like 7.5 million SPS. Again, that's been reducing every month, but 7.5 million is what we started with guys, this could be fascinating. 7.5 million is what we give currently to the two formats. If we were to take land away, land is 6.25 million. So that's like way more than enough. So we can take that, bank some of it, or give it in the DAO, keep it in the DAO for future rewards, but essentially add in, right, supplement another 3.5 or 3.75, whatever it is, from that 6.25 to create that third format. That's where the SPS could come from, so that we're not diluting the rewards from the other areas or sharing the rewards from the other areas. Interesting. I like that. Let's see if we can push for it. All right, Harry, time for dailies. Just got a gold foil and chaos pack. Let's go. All right, guys. Well, I got to run. I'll be back live tomorrow during the usual time. I just wanted to come in. I really thought we were going to have land hype tonight. So this title was a lie. This stream was a lie. The town square was a lie. It's just rough. But we'll have some more, hopefully some more stuff to discuss in the morning. Actually, I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, but maybe more alpha will be dropped. Who knows? And I'll try to get my 5 biggest takeaways out before then. But have an amazing rest of your night. I believe I haven't heard anything about Keys not being able to stream tonight. Keys and Walking Gank. Walking Keys and Gang, and then of course Stever and BB Omega should be there. So if you're hurting for some Splinterlands content, Monday nights are usually good nights for that. I'll catch you guys all later. Peace.